episode of Fartin Around. We are back in the desert today. We're going to start working on this project. I said to you guys that we were going to start a big project in the new year, and this is going to be it. We're going to actually do it. So, you may be able to tell I'm a little sick. I got a little sick on my trip for the holidays. My brother-in-law had a cold. Now I have a cold. And I think I gave it to my wife, so it's just making the rounds. But it's not that bad. I just got a little bit of a sore throat and a headache and snotty. But it's not that bad. But let's talk about this here. So I apologize if I sniffle and cough and stuff. So this, I messed up a little bit. We are in 1.6.4 right now, and that meant that I was still over in the tower when I logged in, and I broke a bunch of stuff, but I'll be able to fix it. It's not that big of a deal. So the reason we're in 1.6.4 is that to do this project, you know, my friends who I play Minecraft with know me for building kind of big, crazy stuff in survival. I mean, kind of stupidly big projects, that kind of thing. And that's the kind of thing I like to do. But, you know, I was thinking, you know, this thing has to be really big. And I was like, do I want to do this whole thing by hand? And I decided, no, I did not. So what I've done, I've made a server here. So I'm on my own server, and we have a plugin called Voxel Sniper. Now, this plugin is amazing for building. And it's really amazing for terraforming, which is what we're going to work on today. Let me start my timer. Sorry about that. Let's get that going. Okay. So it's really amazing for terraforming, as you guys will see. So I'm going to show you kind of the basics of Voxel Sniper. It is a multiplayer bucket plugin, so you can't just use it as a mod in your single player world. But starting up a server, I found, this is the first time I'd done it, was not that hard. So, basically it has a bunch of brushes. Let's see, do I still have, yeah, let's see if I can do brush. Nope, okay. VS brushes is one of the commands. So this is all the different brushes that we can use. There are a ton of them. I guess it's the syntax or whatever for using everything can be a little tricky. I'm not an expert at it. Let me just go ahead and say that right away. But I do know the basics. So what we're going to do here is we're going to do B. So that means a brush. So B command is brush, and then we're selecting our brush. And B is a shortcut for the ball brush. And there we go. It says brush type ball, brush size. You can set your brush size by doing B, brush, and then a number. You don't want to make it too high or else it's going to break everything. So be careful with that. 10 is usually about as big as I go. So you want to select your material. So to select a material, you want to hit V, and then you can either type in what you want, like if you want stone, you can type in stone. Or part of the great thing about Voxel Sniper is that it uses your cursor there, the crosshairs, so you can actually just do V and hit it, and it'll do whatever your cursor is on. So for instance, if we do this, it's going to pick, cactus, because we're pointed on cactus. So we want sandstone. There we go. So now all you do, there's two different kinds of brushes here. So you use an arrow or the gunpowder. You just get the items into your inventory. So the arrow kind of acts like a replace. So if we change this to B, I think if we do D, yeah, disk. So if we do this right here and we put it down, you'll see that it replaced the sand that was down there. And the gunpowder is more of a fill tool. So now if we put this here, it's going to go on top instead of filling. So those are your two basic brushes. I mean, not basic brushes, basic tools. So we're going to go back to the ball brush, I think. And we are going to use the gunpowder here, and we're just going to start building this mountain up. So isn't that freaking awesome? So to start here, we're just using the ball. You can use more random tools. There are tools like the blob brush, or there's a bunch of different kind of scatter brushes that are really good for that kind of thing. But we're just going to use the ball brush just to build up mass. I'm going to approach this project kind of like a sculpture. You know, if you haven't seen the other episode where we found this area, and it was kind of a talking episode. If you haven't seen that, what we're doing, I should have said this earlier, is we're making kind of a city. It's a city inside of a mountain, and the mountain is shaped like a dragon. So we're actually going to be kind of sculpting a dragon into this, hopefully. I'm a little scared about that. I'm not a sculptor. I am an artist, but my art is two-dimensional for the most part. So this is awesome. So we'll see about the dragon part of it. But for today, what we're going to do is just get this, get the shape of this mountain kind of right. So just get the outer bits right, and then we'll focus on the inside maybe next time. Well, the inside and making it look more like a dragon next time. So part of the reason we're using these brushes is that we just want to get the mass. And with a lot of different programs and stuff, this would be kind of as far as you could go with the tools that the program has. You know, you could just make these balls, and then you'd have to go in and make it look not like a bunch of balls. But the great thing with Voxel Sniper is it has built-in tools that will make us be able to make this look more like natural terrain generation, which is what we want. So we're going to keep doing this. While I'm doing this, let's talk a little bit about the holidays. I haven't talked about that yet. I've just put out a Skyblock episode since I've been back. And that's not my talkie episode. That's not my talkie series. This is my talkie series. Oops, I just put... So you can also do /U, and that'll undo your last. It'll just keep going back. So I accidentally put that one down there, so we can just undo it. Alright, so let's take a far back. So we see we need to build this up right here. Somebody is shoveling outside. I'm sorry if you guys can hear that. There's nothing much I can do. It's snowing like crazy here. We got like probably over 6 inches overnight, and it is not stopping at all. That is really annoying, though. I'm sorry. But I went to Michigan we left on Christmas Day, and oh boy, traveling on Christmas Day was rough. Mostly because there's nowhere to park at the airport. The airport was so stupid. They did not have signs on where to go. It was just a mess, and it was so frustrating. It took us like an hour to park, and so we missed our plane. Even though we were there, should have been there in plenty of time to make it. We missed our plane because it took us so long to park, and then ended up parking in like the overflow of the overflow parking lot, which was like a 20-minute bus ride away. It was just terrible. Wouldn't wish it on anyone. So another cool thing about Voxel Sniper, by the way, is that you can be really far away, and it still works. It's so cool. Okay, so we parked in the overflow of the overflow. We finally got there. We missed our plane. They were nice enough not to charge us to get rebooked onto a new flight. So we got put on a new flight. No, we got put on standby is what happened. because we had a small airport that we were going to in Michigan that only had one flight going in for the day. So, and we were pretty much going to miss it unless we got on the standby seats. So we were first in line for the standby, and long story short, my wife got on, and I did not. So she gets on the plane to Chicago to catch the plane to Michigan. We're going to see her family, so we decided to let her go without me, even though it kind of sucked. But it was all right. I just went and I had a beer and had a Christmas airport beer, and it worked out. So I was on standby for the next flight, and I go up. I was a little drunk at this point. I go up to the... Holy crap, can you guys hear that? I am so sorry. Maybe I should pause for a moment while this guy goes ham bone on this snow, and I'll be right back. Bye. Alright guys, welcome back. So, where was I? So, I was on standby for the next flight. I go over there. They have a list on like a TV screen of everybody that's on standby, and I wasn't on the freaking list, even though I was told I was first in line. So I went up. I had to stand in line to talk to the gate agent. And by the time I finally got to the front of the line, the plane had already all boarded. But I ended up talking to this one lady gate agent, and she was super nice, super helpful, and she put me on standby. And it looked like I was going to be able to go. They had one seat left, and this dude just like ran up. Right as they were putting me on board, basically, he ran up, and he was he was the guy whose seat I was taking. So I ended up not making that flight, right? And that was the last flight to make if I was going to make our connection. So we were like, all right, what are we going to do? So I was going to maybe stay the night in Chicago and then go the next day. That was kind of my options. But then I was just like, so do you think we could fly to, well, Grand Rapids is what I said, because that's where I flew. That's where I wanted to fly to. So we had asked our first lady after we missed our first flight. We asked if we could fly to Grand Rapids, and she's like, "Oh no way." So I just decided to ask again, and she was like, "Oh, yeah, sure." And so I ended up, getting bumped up, and getting the seat on to an airport that was actually closer to where we were going. And it all just worked out. We both got there that day, and it worked out great. And so on the way home, the crazy thing was, let's talk about this for real quick before we do that. So what we want to do now, I think we have about enough mass. So we want to do erode, melt. Yes. Okay, and I think we're going to have to change the size of this. Maybe not. Maybe that'll be fine. So what this is going to do, basically, when you switch to an erode brush, the arrow is going to push in, and the gunpowder is going to pull out. So that's all you need to know about that. So we're going to mostly use the arrow here. We might get a little bit of lag. We'll see. We'll use more erosion brushes as we go to make this look more like natural terrain. It still looks funny. Obviously, this part doesn't look natural at all. But as I do this, let's chat some more. So, on the way back, we were sitting at the airport. Our first flight had gotten canceled out of the small regional airport that we were going to, and we got it switched to the bigger airport, the Grand Rapids airport. So we gotten our flight switched there, and so when we get there in plenty of time. Everything is good. And so they asked for volunteers because they overbooked the flight, and I was like, you know why they overbooked? It's because of us, because we weren't supposed to be here. And my wife's like, oh yeah, probably that's right. So they're giving away $200 travel vouchers for anyone that volunteered to give up their seat on the flight. There was no other flight out that they could put us on for that day though, which was the bad part, right? To get us back to Denver, because we had a direct flight from Grand Rapids to Denver. And so I was like, Elena, let's do it. Oh, my wife's name is Elena. Sorry. I probably shouldn't have said that. I did it. Whatever. That was awkward. So anyway, I was like, all right, let's go. Let's do it. And she's like, no, I got to work in the morning. And I was like, well, I'll see when the next flight's out. So they said it wouldn't be until the next morning. And I was like, all right, crap. We can't do it. So then like 10, 15 minutes pass. And they said, all right, we're giving $300 travel vouchers to anyone who will give their seat up. And I was like, Elena, $300 though. Let me see when the flight in the morning is. So the flight in the morning was at like 5 a.m. So I was like, you could still make it to work. This is not exactly how it happened, by the way. This is a dramatic reinterpretation. but it was similar. It was similar to this. Okay, so she was like, all right, crap, let's just do it. So we went up to the counter, and I was like, all right, I think we're going to do it. Any chance you'll bump it up to $400 travel vouchers? And the guy was like, no, I can't do that. I don't have the authority. So we were like, all right, we'll still do it anyway. So he sets up our stuff, and then his like supervisor comes, and he was like, hey, can we bump this up to 400? And his supervisor was like, yeah, sure. So we ended up getting $400 in travel vouchers, which is amazing. Oh, I'm using the wrong one. So we're trying to plan out a trip. So the rest of the day was a little crazy, though. So they didn't have a flight leaving from Grand Rapids, so what we had to do was we took a cab to Chicago, to the airport in Chicago. And there we got a hotel. The gate agent in Grand Rapids messed up, though. We had this amazing lady in Chicago. He forgot to put in our that we had hotel vouchers or whatever, because we're supposed to get our hotel for free. And he forgot to put it in there, and so the gate agent was the ticketing agent, I suppose, was having trouble figuring out what to do, because it didn't say that we're supposed to get a hotel. And but there was this lady who I guess was the supervisor or whatever, just came over, and she's like, they came all the way over here from Grand Rapids. You think they're gonna be lying about getting a hotel? Just give them a hotel. God, just give them a hotel. It was pretty amazing. So we got our hotel, though a bunch of flights in Chicago had gotten canceled, so there was like this gigantic line at the hotel to get a room. So we ended up waiting in line for like an hour at the hotel. It was a mess. But it all worked out. Eventually we got a room and had some dinner, and then we caught our super early flight the next morning, and it worked out. So here's what I want to know, guys. Let's use what is it called? Let's do VS brushes. Blob. Should we use blob? Let's try to use the blob. Blob. And we'll take their brush size down to about 5. Yeah, that's alright. There's a better scatter one. I don't remember what it is, though. Not sure. Ellipse. Well, that's fine. We'll just use this one for now. Splat blob. Let's try that one. Let's do Splat Blob. Let's see what that does. That looks the same, doesn't it? It just says it's still brush type blob. I don't know. It doesn't matter. We're just going to use this to kind of get some, you know, it looks a little better. It doesn't just look like big circles, but some of the parts still do look like big circles. So this is going to take more smoothing out. We don't want it to be really smooth, but we want it to be, you know, you guys know what I'm talking about. I'm sick. So what I wanted to hear from you guys was, where do you think that we should go on vacation? Because we have pretty much a free vacation now, which is amazing. So give me some ideas. We have, you know, our plane tickets are $400, but we can go wherever we want. So give me your guys' ideas. Where have you been that you liked, where you think we should go? I would like to hear where you guys prefer to go on vacation. I'm going to keep working on this. Maybe I'll work on it a little bit, then we'll come back and we'll finish up the episode. The episode's going a little long. Even though I'm sick, I'm feeling rather chatty. So let me do that as kind of a rambly episode. We'll see. All right, I'll see you guys shortly. All right, bye. All right, guys, welcome back. It's nighttime. I think we're about done for today. Just using the smooth brush a little bit. Make it look a little bit more natural. Let's go take a look from the ground here. See how this... So it still is a bit rough around the edges, but it's a good start, I think. I hope you guys agree. Tell me what you guys think about doing this kind of stuff. We can also come in, you know, do stuff by hand. Let's do one last thing here. After a day of chatty. I don't know. The interior's got to be in here somewhere, right? Oh no. Alright, this is a fail. I suppose up here would be easier, maybe. Let's see. Let's try again. I know you guys can't see a damn thing. Apologize. I just want to see what the inside looks like. There we go. Oh yeah. So this will all be, you know, have to be smoothed out. And we might have to dig down also. We will have to dig down. That'll be fun. That'll be fine. Yeah, because the inside of this place should be pretty massive, and it's not quite massive. I could have built this whole thing a lot bigger, but I think this size is pretty good. I'll look between episodes and decide if I want to make it. If I do want to make it bigger, but I think I like how this side is looking. So that's gonna do it for us today. Sorry, I'm sick, guys. I'm a little out of it. I hope you guys understand. I want to do V air. That's how you can take stuff away. So, okay. Sorry, guys. Oh man, not a great way to end the episode. I'm sorry. Just rambling around. So I hope you guys enjoyed. If you did, please like and subscribe. Next time, we're gonna just continue working on this this project here that I hope you guys are into. So that's gonna do it for me. I hope to see you guys next time. Bye.